straight away with creating a page. So we start with creating a Visualforce page today, and we'll see how do we create a page and how do we include a few HTML tags into that, right? So to create a page, there are two ways you can create a page. Okay, so first option is you can actually go to setup, create, develop, and go to pages, and there you can go and say new page. Okay, so this is one option which is available to you. You create a new page and then you start writing the code there, the entire markup. Okay, so that's one way of creating a page. So how do we do this? Let's quickly look at it. So let's go to setup. Okay, sorry, did I write something wrong there? Not create, setup, develop. Okay, setup, develop, pages, and here you can actually go ahead and create a new page. Now whatever is the code for that page, the entire code needs to be written here. Alright, this is one way of creating a page. You just put a label and name to the page and just save it. Okay, this is one way of creating the page, but we will not use this method of you creating a page. Alright, we'll create the page using a different method. Other option is using Visualforce editor. Okay, what is that Visualforce editor? This is an inbuilt editor within Salesforce which allows you to preview the page and write the code simultaneously. Here what is happening? Here you are just writing the code, but you cannot preview the page. Okay. So in this option, what we do is we use the inbuilt Visualforce editor, which will allow us to view the page and edit the code at the same time. Okay, parallelly I can do both the things. So before you can actually create a page using the Visualforce editor, you just have to do a small setup change. You just have to go to manage users, go to your own user, the user that you are logged in with, click on edit, and you just have to enable development mode. So there is something called development mode here. You just have to enable it. Okay, once you enable it, then only you will have that option of the Visualforce editor. Save it. Done. My development mode is enabled. Now here first thing is make sure you enable development mode, and this is a one-time thing. So once you have enabled the development mode, you don't have to enable it again and again, right? So this is just a one-time setup change. Now to create the page, all that you have to do is go to the URL, delete everything after salesforce.com/, go to the URL, delete everything after salesforce.com/, and then type apex, give a slash, and put a page name. Page name can be anything. Just make sure that it does not have spaces, special characters, these kind of things. Okay, otherwise it can be anything. So after salesforce.com/ you type apex / put the page name, whatever page you name you want to give. The moment you do this, it will show you an error. It says Visualforce error, page v1 does not exist. So that's fine. I mean, the page does not exist already. I have not yet created it. All that I need to do is I just need to go to create page v1 and create this page. That's it. So here it is. The page gets created. Clear?
Yep.
Now, this is my page. This is how it will look, and this is the code. All right. So the advantage of creating a page from here is that you get to see it directly in the editor, all right, and you can just preview how it will display to the end users here, and you can view the code here. There's a code editor which I was talking about. Here it is. Okay, you can expand it, shrink it, whatever you want. So this is where the code is. You can just make changes to the code. Now let's come back to understanding what sort of code we are putting into it. All right.
Hi, Jeet.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was just trying to follow when you're saying I got the page created, but I could not see the editor, like what you have, the code and stuff. Am I missing something?
Do you try it from here? Is this available?
Yeah, so basically, like what I did is I did Apex and like name something. After that, I got the congratulations, this is your new page, but on the bottom, I could not see where you got the code written, right? Like a sample code where you go and edit. That I could not see.
Can you see this kind of a bar at the bottom?
Where, uh, yeah, I see. Yeah, bar. I have to click on the bar.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thanks.
And a
Yeah, I see.
small thing, that's Srinivas, right? While I
Yeah.
am, demonstrating this code, you guys will have the videos, right? Please do
Oh
not do
yeah, yeah.
this parallelly. I mean, that will be way too dangerous, because you might miss on a lot of concepts which are being discussed here, right? You will have
Yeah,
videos,
sure.
you can just figure it out, you can do it. Don't worry about that, right? I'm pretty
Okay.
much here. So don't
Okay.
do it parallelly.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good idea because I just missed it, right? So, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll follow
So
it.
don't, yeah. See, again, you missed it because you were actually trying to write it. You will never be able to match up the pace at which I am writing the code, and you will miss both the things, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
So
sure.
now let's come back to how the page is formed. What kind of code actually goes into the page? So I told you, like, we have tags in HTML. In Visual Force we have component. So we call them Visual Force components, and for everything we have a component. Okay. Like, we have a component for the page, we have a component for a page block, we have a component for a table, for a column, for a button, for a link. For everything we have a component, right? So whatever component you want to bring, basically we understand that this is a markup language. So for the markup language, we basically need to bring the components into the page. So there are these components, and all these Visual Force components start with apex colon. Okay, all our Visualforce components start with apex colon, and they will also end with apex colon. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and here can be component name, which can be a page, let's say. All right, now this apex page is the outermost component of any Visual Force page. So any Visual Force page should have at least this component available, and this has to be the outermost. Anything needs to be created should be within this, not outside this. So you cannot have something here and here. Whatever needs to be written, whatever you want to create, should be within these two components, or within this page component. Okay, so this is start of a page and this is end of the page. Now whatever page decoration you want to do, you want to put a button, link, photograph, image, text, everything has to come inside this. All right, let's look into this now, understand this page code. Starts with this, ends with this, and then there is congratulations written here. See, congratulations appear here. This h1, it's an HTML tag, right? This is your new page. That also comes here. Okay, and these line number 2 and line number 5 are commented comments. That's it. All right, so instead of congratulations, let's say I want to write hello. See, hello has also come here. So now whatever you want to write, you can just bring it. Make it bold, make it bold here. Make it italics. Make it italic. All right. So this is how basically our Visualforce page is created. All right. Now other components, whatever you want, need to come inside this. Okay. So that's the first component. Now, similar to this, we have a lot of components which are available with Visualforce, like for tables, columns, buttons, links, as I told you, right? Now, the next thing is attribute. So we by now we understand what is a component, right? Now let's see what is an attribute. Okay. So now what is an attribute? Attribute is basically an attribute of a component. Okay. Every component that we have has a few attributes. Okay. And these attributes basically define the functionality of the component. For example, for this page component, there is an attribute called sidebar. And where do we put the attribute? We just come here and we type sidebar. Now you can make the sidebar true or false. By default it's true. If you make it false, it will not show the sidebar. So once you have made changes to the code, you just have to go ahead and save it, or you can just do a control S to save it. See, the sidebar is gone. So this is an attribute of the component. The same way there are attributes associated with all the components, which will basically control the look and feel of the component. Page is a component. Now whether you want to see the sidebar on the page or not, whether you want to see the header on the page or not, so this is basically the attribute. Okay, so there are a lot of attributes associated with each component. For header there is another attribute which is called show header. Make it false. See, header is also gone. If I remove these and save it, again I have the sidebar and the header back. Right. So that's basically components and attributes. So whatever you are designing on the page will be using components, and how the component appears, that will be using the attributes of that component. All right. So I hope everyone is clear so far. Now, the other day we have to already talked about markups and controllers. Can one of you please quickly tell me what is a markup and what is a controller? Quickly.
This is Srinivas. I think
The
markup is
markup is anything that appears on a page.
Markup is what appears on the page, and what is a controller?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Controller is something. If some action is done, like then what is the next process?
The set of controlling logic effect.
Set of logics. Okay. Not not always action, but logics. Okay. All the
Logics.
instructions. Sometimes your controller also controls what data comes into the page even before any action happens. The moment the page loads, what data is displayed on the page, that's controller, right? That depends on the controller. Correct? Currently, if you look into this page, do we have any logic working on this page? Is there any controller associated with this page if you look into this?
No. Okay.
Yes, no? Look into the page.
I
Do
think
you
it's
have
just
anything? No.
HTML.
I'm sorry.
I think it's just HTML, right?
It is just HTML, right? It's just simple static page. It does not have any logic. It just needs to display this thing. Okay. No matter what is the situation, who is opening, from where he is opening, what is the name of the user. I mean, it doesn't care about anything. It is just going to show you congratulations. So there is no controlling logic here. As of now, this is a page which does not have a controller, right? But this is a rare situation. How many times are you going to have a page where which is just going to be a static page? Most of the times, while you're creating a Visualforce page, you will either want to connect it to the database, or want to, that particular page to do something or introduce some actions, right? So controller needs to be brought in into this page. All right. Clear? So as of now, this is a page which does not have a controller. Now it's only markup. Now let me bring in the controller here. So controllers, as I told you, there are 4 types of controller. Can one of you quickly tell me the name of the 4 controllers?
Standard.
What is the first one?
Standard,
Then,
standard list,
then,
custom,
then.
extension.
You've made the notes now.
I'll use.
Okay, fine. So yeah, these 4 types of controllers. Now, first of all, we will start with standard controller, the simplest of all. Okay. See, now these controllers will be basically, while I'm using a standard controller, I am trying to leverage the existing controllers of Salesforce, correct? I told you this, right? Which means I will not write the logics, I will just use one of the existing set of logics from Salesforce, correct? Salesforce has already created these controllers for all the existing objects. Okay. Okay, let me put it this way. Every object that we have in Salesforce, standard or custom, every object is connected to a certain page layout. At least one page layout is associated with every object. Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
When every object has a page layout, which means for every object, Salesforce has already got a controller. Otherwise, how the data comes onto that page? They must be having the controller available for that, right? So, while you want to use a standard controller, every standard as well as custom object has a page layout. Sorry, standard controller. Every standard or custom object has a standard controller associated with that. Okay. So if you want to use that controller, you just have to call that controller on your Visualforce page. And how will you call that visual controller on the Visualforce page? To call standard controller on Visualforce page, all that you have to do is define standard controller equals object name in the page text page attribute. Okay, controller is an attribute of the apex page component. Controller is basically an attribute of this component. Okay, so while you want to use a standard controller or an existing controller, all that you have to do is you just have to use this in such a way, right? So while you use this, you just have to call the standard controller equals to name of the object. All right. So let's say if I want to use the standard controller of account, I should say standard controller equals account. Or if you want to use it for opportunity, I should say standard controller equals opportunity. Got it? Now, the interesting thing is, since we are talking about making the standard controller equals account or standard controller equals opportunity, the point here is that making the standard controller equals account or opportunity will actually connect this page to that particular object. Okay, so if you define standard controller equals account, then what will happen? Your page will get connected to the account object because it is using the controller of account object, right? Which means this page can display data from account object, and it can display data only from account object. Got it? So while you're using a standard controller, what you do is you set up a connection between the page and the database using the controller, and you can display the data from that particular database table on the page.
So,
Okay.
we can have a question. So, can we connect two tables at a time, like writing
No.
AND or OR logic in this, or no?
No.
Just one table at a time.
Yeah.
We can?
No. No.
No.
Okay. How do we define this?
Standard control.
That's it. It's an attribute. Done. Now, this small piece of code has connected this page to the backend database table. Which table it is connected now? Which table is it
Accounts.
connected with?
Accounts.
It's connected with the accounts. Correct. So, and you have to make sure that you're using the correct object name. If you use accounts here, it will throw error because the object name is account. It's not accounts. Okay. So we'll have to make sure that we are using the exact name of the object. Now this is connected to the account object, which means I can use this page for displaying the data from account object. Okay. Let me show account name here. So to fetch the data from an object, you just have to use this expression. Within curly brackets, start with exclamation mark, object name dot field name. Whatever data you want to bring on the page, you just have to use this object name dot field name. Okay. So I just want to, let's say I want to display the name of the account. So I should say exclamation mark account dot name. If I want to show the industry, this is just a label. This is just a label. You can write whatever you want. But this is what will actually fetch the data from the database object. Here you can mention it as industry. Okay. Do we get any information here? Do we get to see the data? Does it fetch the data from the table?
No.
Why?
I think we probably need to mention the rows because data is stored in rows and tables, right? So is this a field that we have mentioned there?
Yes. So the problem here is that I have mentioned show me account name, but I have not mentioned anywhere which account's name it needs to show, right? So now it does not understand which account name needs to be shown here. So it gets confused and it doesn't show me anything. So all that I have to do here is I just have to go ahead and supply the ID of the record. Okay. So fields we have mentioned here. Now which record's name needs to be shown, that I will need to define in the URL. How will I define it? Just go to any record, pick the ID and come back to the Visualforce page. After your page name, type question mark ID equals, paste the ID. Okay. So all that you have to do is after the page name, put question mark ID equals to and put the ID here. That's it. Do you see this?
From where we got the ID, Ajit?
Sorry.
No, from where we got the ID, we just visited
You
a
just
record, and
go
from
to
there we copied
accounts.
the ID from
Just go to accounts. Open any of the account records. When you open the record, you will see the ID in the URL of it.
there. Oh,
Every
okay. If we
record when you
copy it
open
from
it, you
there,
get the ID.
so we need to copy it from there.
Copy it, put it here. Now I copied the ID of Burlington Textile. That's the reason why it shows me the name of the Burlington Textile record, right? If I go and pick ID from some other record, let's say Grand Hotels. So this is an opportunity. Again, you have to make sure that you're taking the ID of an account, because that's an account page. This is an opportunity. So if I pick opportunity ID, it will not fetch any data. It will throw error rather. Paste it. So the page is absolutely fine. The moment I supply the ID will get supplied here. Okay, and the moment ID is supplied here, details come here for that particular account.
Yeah. So I did one question
Correct.
actually.
All right.
Hello.
So same way, let me bring in a few more fields here.
So you put
I've got a couple of fields.
opportunity ID and then give it to the account, applied to the account one, account candidate
Sorry,
controller. So this was the opportunity, the Grand Hotel and
no,
Grand Hotel one was opportunity or the account?
this is account.
Account. Okay. So
I came to
what's
the
the
account of that opportunity and then I've taken the ID from that account.
So I have a question. What's the use of this? So we know that which account we are taking it and just taking ID here and writing it there. So how can we, like, what's the use of this? Because we know that this is the,
How many
uh,
sessions have we done on Visualforce?
sorry?
How many sessions have we done on Visualforce?
So this is the first session. I'm just
First
asking
session,
the,
right? And
yeah.
I think we have done close to 20-30 minutes, right?
Mm.
So you will understand the use of it also, fine? Gradually things will come. So,
Okay.
it will be good if we actually try and focus more on what exactly we are doing and how we are actually connecting things. Okay. So it's too early to start thinking on why I do this or why do I use it. You'll gradually understand that part, right? We are just trying to check whether my page is working fine or not. I just started creating a field here. So it's good if we at this point of time, if we are focusing more on how are we setting up the connectivity with the data, correct? Use and everything will come gradually. Okay, so the code is fine, it's working. Let me introduce a few more fields here. This time what should I write here?
Opportunity.
What should I write here? I want to bring the account type.
Curly bracket.
Sorry.
Bracket.
Yeah, within curly brackets. Yes.
Account dot type.
Account dot type. Yeah.
Acha. Is it account dot type or account dot account type?
We need to see the field, like what is the
Okay.
API name.
Very good. How will we see that?
When
Where
you
will
go
we
to
get that?
object,
To
yeah,
go in the account and see.
Okay.
Account object.
Can you just go to account and check what is the field name
yeah, sure.
and let
One
me know
second.
whether it's account type or type.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah.
It's actually account record type, right?
Record
Oh,
type?
that's a
No.
label actually. Sorry. Record type. Oh, that's a different actually.
I
I
think
just use.
it's just type.
Yeah, just type.
Okay. Okay. As you said. Then I also need the website. Sorry.
It's just website.
It's website or site?
Just website. Jeet.
Okay.
Account dot website.
So now all these four fields will appear here. I need a line break here. So the page is ready, okay, and I am actually able to display the data as per my requirement, right? I just wanted to display the name, industry, type, and website, and I've been able to display that. Correct? Right. Now let's create a similar kind of page for opportunity. Okay, and this time you guys will actually help me do that. So, and we will display a few fields from an opportunity. Okay. So all that I need to do is go to the URL. I am trying to create a new page, so it should be a new name for it. I'll call it V2. Press enter. Create page. Okay. So please help me write the code from here. What do I need to write? Here, what do I write?
Standard controller.
So this time, standard controller will be what? I'm trying to create a page for
Opportunity.
opportunity.
Yeah. So,
Opportunity. Opportunity or opportunity?
Opportunity.
we need to check.
Opportunity.
TY.
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 Sure about it. Okay. So in case you get, these kind of errors, in case you're trying to create something and you get this kind of error that it does not exist, don't need to worry. It's just a spelling mistake that you're doing or you're not actually taken the correct name. Just go back, check the name and fix it. Done. So this is opportunity. Now what is the next thing? I need name of the opportunity. So what do I need to put in here within brackets?
And curly bracket.
What will be
Opportunity dot name.
Opportunity.
opportunity dot name? Correct.
Hmm.
I need the amount of the opportunity. Can you just tell me what is the field name for amount?
In the same amount.
Just go and check for opportunity.
Yeah. It's amount.
I also want to display the stage of the opportunity. Can you just check what is the field name for that?
Stage name.
Is that correct?
Stage name. Yeah.
Just stage, I think. Stage.
Stage name.
Stage or
Stage.
stage name?
Stage
Stage.
name.
One of you say stage, one of you say stage name.
No, we need to take the field name, not the label, right?
So, Vipula, how come you are getting stage?
Oh yeah, field name is stage name. Yeah.
Stage name, right? Okay. So just make sure that everyone is able to see that. So that's the field name. So there is a difference between the label and the name. Okay. Name is what we are going to use. Okay, that's it. So my page is ready for opportunity. Now this is because opportunity page. Let me just take one of the opportunities, take the ID, supply the ID here. So this shows basically the details from that opportunity, the one for which the ID has been supplied. Correct? Okay. Manjit, because I'm using your login, fine. I will be
Hmm?
creating the pages in this series V1, V2. All right. If you practice for your practice,
Okay.
if you are creating any pages, please don't create anything in this series. Okay. These will be our session pages, and
Oh,
you can start creating X1, X2, something else. Okay. All right.
okay. Okay. All right. All right.
So this part is okay, right? So how we are actually connecting the database to the table, that is fine, right? So there are three parts to it. There are three parts to it, right? This is where you are connecting it with the table, right? This
Yep.
is where you are
Yes.
connecting it with the field. And this is where you are connecting it with the record. Fine. So your page exactly knows which record, what data it has to display. What field it has to display is written here, these three lines. From which object it will get the data, that's mentioned here. And which record it has to pick the data from, that's mentioned here. As simple as this. Got it? So that's how our page gets connected to the backend database table. Now you can actually create this page to extend the functionalities, bring in more data from the page, and display a lot of other things. Sorry, bring in more data from the database on the page, and put a lot of functionalities into that. Right. So let me just now work a little with the markup. Let me again go back to V1. So here we have created 4 fields. Let's create 2 more. Phone, fax, phone, fax. Okay, let's go and pick an
And
account
is
ID.
it case sensitive too, or
No,
just that?
in Salesforce, no language is case sensitive. Apex, Visualforce, nothing. Okay, everything is case insensitive, which means you write in small letter or capital letter means the same. Question mark ID equals. Okay. Now let me put a markup here. all these things have actually come together. What I want to do is I just want to create a page block here. So there's a markup which is called apex page block. This page block can be used for creating a block in the page. Do you see this small block here? All right,
Yeah.
this appears here because I have just started and
Yep.
closed it.
Yep.
What I can do is I can put this entire stuff inside this. Initially, while you're writing this Apex, sorry, Visualforce code, it will be good if you actually work a little with your indents. Later on, you will have a good understanding of things, and even if you don't put the proper indents, it's fine. But initially, it's good, and practically also you should put proper indents so that someone who is actually referring to your code or looking into your code actually finds it's easy. So good to keep it neat. All right, see, a nice looking page block. All right, so this is a component, another Visualforce component which can actually bring in a page block. Okay, we have an attribute for a page block which is called a title. Okay, this title can be a static title like account details. See, the block has got the title, or it can be a title which comes again. This title can also come from the name or from the table. Any field can come there, right? So you can have something like now. What will it do? What do you think? What will this do? Line number 3, in title I have said account dot name. What will it do?
So it will, account name will display.
Account name will be displayed in the title section, correct? Right.
Yeah.
Now because I have two startings of the page block and just one ending of the page block, it will throw an error, right? It will get confused now that you have started it here, again started it here. So let me comment this out. Okay, so this line got commented, which means this is not a part of the code anymore. Save it. See, name of the account has come as the title. Okay, so page block title can be a static text, or it can come from a certain field also, or a mix of both. Details of, see, correct. Okay, now this entire thing has come inside this page block. Okay, now if I want, I have another component which is called a page block section. Okay, now this page block section can be used for creating further blocks inside the page block itself. So let's say I want to break it into two more sections. I can start it like apex page block section. Let me put these things here, and another page block section. Okay. For the page block section also you have an option of title. I'll call it general info. In this section I set it as contact info. Okay, do you see this? The page block got created. Under that I've created two sections. So it's a very nice and easy way of creating very what do you say, professional kind of looking pages. So see, we are just utilizing these components, and we are actually creating pages which are completely in sync with the Salesforce default design, right? So your page automatically starts looking professional. So you don't have to work too much on that. So that's basically the advantage of using this platform, right? So you will not be working too much towards the look and feel of the page, and you don't have to spend too much of time that okay fine, this is how I should write it and all that stuff. No, you can straight away just start using these components which are very easy to use. All right. Now this page block section, if you see, it's collapsible. Okay, default it's collapsible. If you don't want this section to be collapsible, have an option of you have an attribute for the page block section which is called collapsible, and you can make it false. Collapsible, make it false. Okay, see, now it's not collapsible anymore. Correct. So this is how we can actually introduce, the markups into whatever data we are trying to display. So we have seen both the sides of it, right? How do we fetch the data from the database and display it on the page? And now we are actually working on how do we introduce different markups and control how the data is actually going to be displayed on the page, right? So the controlling part of it, the controller logic, and the markup part, right? Tell me if there is any difficulty understanding this.
Is there any document where we can find all the attributes in one place?
We have several places where we have all the attributes listed, but initially what I would suggest is again go by the examples that we are discussing, right? And then try and get into the complete list of attributes. Correct. So some see some not attributes, the components. Some components are very common. Okay, um, and we will be doing a few examples using those, and that will help you actually understand the entire concept pretty clearly. And then you can use the other components also. Right. Others are the components or attributes which are not that much used. So those are things that you can actually look into a little later. All right.
So I want to revise one thing with you.
Hmm.
So this between component and attributes, I got little bit of confused. So which part is so this Apex page controller, is this part is component and
Apex page is the component.
okay,
Standard controller is an attribute of that component.
component.
Apex
Okay.
page block section is a component. Title is
Component
an
and title is a all the other things are attributes.
yeah. So this is the name of the component, and everything after this is attribute.
Attribute.
Title
Okay.
is one attribute, collapsible or not, that's another attribute. Got it?
Mhm.
Clear? So whenever we are using a component, we have to define the attributes for the component. Some components can come without attribute also. Some components require an attribute. So like page thing we saw initially, we created a page without the standard controller. So you can use some components without any attribute also, right? So that's there. All right. So basically what I want you to do today is I just want all of you to go back and try create similar kind of pages, bring in the piece, and work with different objects. Like we have done an example with account, try to work with opportunity or lead or something like that. Okay, try to bring in data and page block sections. Work with this, and tomorrow once we meet, we are actually going to talk a little further on this, and we will learn more components. Yeah, tell me.
I just missed the how you start the page thing because my internet was not working initially. That's why I got late. So I
How
just missed
you
that part. Yeah,
how you start the page? Did you
yeah,
see how to create a page?
how to create a page like where we are
Simple,
writing.
you just go to your URL, delete everything after salesforce.com. The way we created, at least second page you must have seen, right? So
Yeah.
delete everything after salesforce.com/apex/page name. That's it.
Okay.
Now, once you do this, you will get this error and you will have an option of creating the page. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But you might not get this create option if you don't enable the development mode. So to enable the development mode, you just have to go to users, go to your user, click on edit, and there is an option of enabling the development mode here. For you, it must be turned off right now. You just have to go and turn it on, check it on,
Okay.
make sure it's
Okay.
checked on, and then the same process as I told you.
Okay. Thank you, Jeet.
Fine. All right. So just create a few simple pages, and tomorrow once we meet, we are actually going to talk about a few more complex scenarios. Not very complex, basically, but a little more than what we have done today.